Gang, are you ever confused on the trail? Not about directions, not about navigation, but about the company around you. There's no worries anymore. Now there's MindFlex headlamps. Point the light at the person whose mind you want to read and erase that confusion. But be careful. I tried this on Carl, and his thoughts were, I don't get it. Why are people not my friend? Is it because I'm balding? I don't brush my teeth on the trail. I stuff dirty socks in my shirt. It was scary and terrifying. But if you need to know, check them out at flexlampforfriends.hopefully. Hello, everybody. This is Derek, and with me today is the only man to set aside his ego and looks to go ultralight on the trail. How do I know? Well, just ask the ballet slippers and the lack of underwear in his bag, Carl Mandrioli. No shame, and I love it.
Welcome to the Backpack Hunters Podcast, everybody. Thank you for joining us. With me today is Derek Somerville. He's a man that thinks a scam artist is somebody who walks downstairs, and they're called condescending.
That's backpackingblisters.com forward to Carl if you have any complaints about the joke qualities on this podcast. I do apologize. Condescending.
So we got don't fall for these backpacking scams, lies, and myths. So we're trying to solve problems and protect people out there.
We're trying. It's a lot of work.
You know what? We're bound to fall for something at some point. So when was the last time you were scammed in life, Derek?
Oh, actually got scammed. I actually got scammed probably, I don't know, 15 years ago. That's
the most recent.
That's the most recent. No, but the better story is I came like this close to getting scammed probably 2 months ago, I'm going to say.
Okay.
And I got a phone call, and they had the name of the bank. Hey, this is such and such bank, and you've been frauded, and some lady's trying to charge like $3,000 on your card overseas, and all we need to get your information real quick, and just give me your credit card, just give me your account number real quick, and we'll get this solved. I'm like, well, how do you already know who the person is, and how can you already solve them that fast? I'm like, the alarm bells are going off, and they're like,
yeah,
oh no, we still have a really high tech system now. We got it solved. We just need your credit card number. It's like, so luckily I had that thing in my head where it's like, just call your bank real quick. So I'm like, yeah, let me go get that number for you. I have it written down in the other room. So I call my bank. They're like, yeah, this is a scam.
Wait, you called your bank like on your second phone?
I told the guy, hold on, let me put you on hold. I'm going to go get the number.
Oh, gotcha.
Called the bank, and they're like, yeah, we'll never ask you for your number. And I'm like, I thought so. This seemed a little weird. So I get back on the phone with them, and then I just went.
Okay, now I want to know what you said. What did you say now?
Now it got good. Then I was like, look, let me give you that number. How about what's 1, 2, 3? Forget you. Like, there's no way I'm giving you this number because I know you're scamming me. I don't understand how you guys get through the day knowing you're just scamming people and old people all day. This is absurd. Then he flipped the switch, started cussing me out, and then we ended that phone call. But that wasn't it for me, Carl. I was not done yet. I was enraged.
You called him back.
I was passionate. So I called him back, and I realized that this girl answers, and she answers the phone for a completely different topic. So I'm like, this is like a full call center of scams. Like, they're doing multiple different things. So I called her up and I was like, hey, I just need the bank scam department. I had to call the guy back. He was trying to scam me on my bank info. She needed to get back to him. She hangs up the phone. I call back. I do this 2 more times, and then I got over it. Okay. And that was it. That's how I do it now.
Somebody's got too much time on their hands right there.
I hate the fact that people are getting scammed. Okay. This is so wrong, dude.
I just tell them that there's a better life for them out there. And
a better life.
There is.
You're gonna show it to them? Did you show it to them?
I would if they followed up. They don't usually follow up though.
You know what you should do? I'm gonna challenge you. Here's a challenge for you, because I know we all get scam calls every day. Why don't the next time you get a scam call, I want you to invite that person on a Patreon trip and see if they'll come.
Okay, done. I don't typically answer scam phone calls. Usually there's a warning on my phone. But if you answer,
I answer all of them.
Well, that's not a good strategy.
And I just answer it, and then I just let it sit there. I don't say anything.
Yeah. You're just like perpetuating the problem, because now they're alerted the fact that that's a number that somebody's going to answer. So now they pass the number on to other people. So good job.
Well done.
All right, I'll share. This is like a minor scam, but this is becoming more prevalent because our buddy Jared also had this happen to him. And this is something that just for everyone to be aware of here. So I was looking at changing a subscription, like how we record our podcast and how Derek and I can communicate. And so I was looking at changing companies. And so I want to test them out to see if they work as well. And so I just want to see if they work. So they have these free trials, like 7-day free trial, month free trial, whatever. And so the first one that I signed up for, I clicked on the free trial and it brought me to like the credit card page. And I'm like, okay, well, sometimes they collect the credit card information, but they don't actually charge you until the free trial is over. But there still was a free trial button on the page. So I clicked on it again and it still brought me to the same page. I was like, all right, I got to try this out. We got to see if this is going to work for us. They charged me immediately.
Wow.
Yeah. So
you call them up?
Yeah, I got the refund. So that's not like a full-on scam. That's why it's like a minor scam, but it's still, they're offering, it's a fake free trial basically. So just be aware of that. I'll try to say.
So shit. Why?
Yeah. We'll get to some backpacking related ones, but also coming this episode, a recent guest that we had on right at the end of season 7, our very last episode, Chef Corso, actually proved you, Derek, wrong, dead wrong, I'd say,
Chef
about
Corso.
an ongoing argument we've had. So we're going to get to that.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Any predictions on what that's about?
I feel flattered because we have trolls that are doing that much research. I love that.
No, it's a guest. He's not a troll. He's a chef.
But how much time did it take, Chef, to figure all this out?
Well, listen to the episode. You'll find out. Okay. Anyway, this episode is brought to you by Enlighten Equipment. If you're looking for an ultralight jacket to keep you warm at night in the mountains, check out the Tour jacket. That made Justin Outdoors Gear Awards that we had him on last week, and it was on his 2020 Ultralight Gear Awards. So you can find that on enlightenequipment.com.
Did you say 2020?
2024? I don't know.
2024. Just so we're clear. I thought you said 2020.
The current year is not 2024 though, right?
Not anymore. I thought you said his 2020 list of
just double checking.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
I probably did. Okay.
Maybe.
Bible verse of the episode, Proverbs 10:9. Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but he who makes his way crooked will be found out.
Carl, are you crooked in any way possible?
I don't think so. I try not to be. Are you?
Oh yeah, I'm super crooked. Yeah.
The only example I can think of is your first episode back when you just started making up fake hacks and then like judging them.
Fake hacks.
Yeah, that's not really integrity, is it?
I think that's just entertainment. That's what that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you're just making up junk, we're talking about hacks we've seen, and you're like, actually, I'm going to make one up and then make fun of it.
I
like what
made
comics do.
0 of those up. That's how do you not? I mean, people do the weirdest things. You don't think any of those are true? They're all true.
I don't know.
All of those are true.
I don't know.
You know.
We'll find out.
Well,
I'll
do your homework.
Look back into that. Okay.
Yeah, you do that. Go look into that. Check your notes. Check the websites, and you'll find all 3.
Okay.
Guaranteed.
Well, speaking of lack of integrity, we've got backpacking scams, lies, and myths. Don't fall for these. Derek, what's the first one that they shouldn't fall for?
Okay. I looked up quite a few. This is like a fitness myth that if you aren't sweating on the trail, you aren't working on the trail, which is completely false. We all sweat for different. You're sweating because you're releasing, moisture out of your body, hydration. If you're not drinking water, though, you're not hydrating, you're not going to sweat as much. But just because you're not sweating doesn't mean you're not working. If you're walking, 7, 8, 10, 12 miles a day, that's so good for your body in general in a variety of ways, whether it's digestion, brain activity, all kinds of things. So just because you're not sweating is irrelevant. Like some of us sweat more than others. I had a friend in junior high who would just walk to class, he'd be dripping wet. Whereas, I could do a whole basketball practice and barely be sweating.
Wow.
Maybe it was easy for me, Carl. No, I was horrible actually. I was a freshman and they threw me in the trash cans. So it was a horrible experience, but sweating does not necessarily mean you're working hard or not. It's just part of your body composition. And it's just really telling you where your core body temperature is at.
So you're saying, I'm trying to relate this to like a backpacking trip. So like trip leader sees somebody who's like struggling, they're kind of like lagging behind, but they're not sweating a whole lot. They can't use that as like evidence to be like, you got to work a little harder so you can keep up.
No, I mean, maybe give us some water, dude. How about that?
Yeah.
Maybe they're dehydrated.
Okay. What other evidence would you, let's say that you're the troop leader, what other evidence would you use where you would feel compelled to tell the person to like move faster to keep up? What would be the scenario where that would happen?
I think that's you want an answer for yourself through me right now because you're like, I want to tell people to move faster.
No, I've already done this to you. I've done this to you every trip, basically. So I'm wondering about your
Would I
perspective.
bribe them? Would I be like, hey, there's a beautiful view up here?
No, like what would they be doing where you're like, they're not working hard enough? I need to tell them to move faster to keep up.
Oh, like would I be like when you take breaks and take your pack off every 30 steps? That's something where I'm like, hey, dude, we got to like strap this on and get going. We gotta catch up, or we're gonna be at camp at like way too late. So
like, put your pack back on.
Put your back back on. I want to beat you at games tonight. We can't play bocce ball if you're gonna lag. So
okay,
let's go.
My first one. Let's see. You went kind of exercise. Yours was like a myth. You're trying to
yeah. It's lies, scams, and myths. I believe is that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that counts. Okay, so let's
Thanks.
see. I'm trying to mix it up here. So I'm gonna go with a lie, and I'm gonna credit Maddie Outdoors in this one.
Ooh.
As I was doing research, and because he spoke to my heart when he said this, I don't know why I've never caught this before. But he says that the amount of water that freeze-dried meals put on the back of the package that they suggest you put into the package is a lie. Like, it's not
really
accurate. Yeah.
How off are they?
That's the problem. Is it like, because I feel like we've gone so far as like bringing measuring cups to make sure we have the exact amount. And sometimes it's too dry. Sometimes it's like soupy.
Yep.
I don't know what the issue is, but I feel like you just kind of have to, it's better for it to be too dry and then kind of add a little bit, obviously, than to have it be too soupy. Then you're done, right?
I would agree.
I would say frequently the measured amount does not create for the best experience. Do you agree with that?
I don't know how I don't know how you can really fully ever dial that in though, right? I mean, people hike and go places with all kinds of different elevations and stuff, and it's going to affect a lot. So how do you really ever dial that in? I
think you got to figure it out for yourself. So I think that.
So it's more of a guideline. It's more of a guideline on the pack.
Yeah, it's like a guideline. So I don't know how meticulous you want to be where you're going to like take stats on different things, elevations and certain meals. But basically, if it requires 2 cups of water, which is pretty standard for things like Mountain House, I'd probably go under that and then add as I went just to make it, more moist or whatever. Yeah. But a lot of those like peak refuels require like a cup and a third of water. And I would just go with a cup and a third and then just be aware you might need to add. Because I don't think they're typically too soupy to cup and a third. So that's my idea.
I think more often than not, if I put in exactly what it says, I'm never like, oh, wow, this is way too soupy.
Oh, I've had that before for sure.
I don't think I've had that happen.
Really?
So maybe it's what we're eating too.
Yeah, because you're eating more like salmon-based stuff, right?
All salmon-based, right? Exactly. Okay. No, if you're doing like a pasta as opposed to like a biscuits and gravy or like a chili mac with beef like you like, then would it absorb the water differently? I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know.
We're not food scientists, but either way, be aware. So that's my first one.
It's kind of a weak one, but I like it. And next one I have is more of a, I guess this is kind of a lie. Ticks, this is more like bugs and pests. Ticks only live a few weeks out in the wild. That is not true. They live up to potentially 3 years, especially if they're a pregnant female. They can go 3 years, Carl. So they're out there. Yeah. They are out there.
How is that helpful information?
Because a lot of the other additional myth was that additional myth was that you get bit less in the wintertime, right? Which is in the myth, because a lot of them can go into a dormant phase in the wintertime, I was reading, but the amount of ticks that are still out there it doesn't really change the amount of people getting ticks on them overall, as opposed to
you're saying watch out for the snow ticks.
Snow ticks are still out there, and they're still going to bite you. Just because you're out there in the snow or in the wintertime and you think, oh, I'm out here in the cold, no ticks. Think again, my friends. They're out there waiting to suck your blood.
So this episode is called "Don't Fall for These Backpacking Scams, Lies, and Myths." I think that is the lie, is that they're out, that there's snow ticks. Okay, if you've had a tick on you,
them snow ticks. You can call them snow ticks. They're just out there in the winter. They're not.
If you've had a tick on you,
they're not covered in snow, flying through the air, getting on you. They're just out there in the wintertime, Carl.
Okay, all right. I think that they can be out there in the wintertime if it's not in a winter, if it's not in like a snowy environment. I agree with that for sure. But if you're in a snowy environment, do you think they're out there?
They are out there. Yes.
In snowy environments. In Minnesota in January.
I'm not saying every snowy environment. I'm saying in some snowy environments and cold environments, they have a lot of them that go dormant, but a lot of them are still out there and they're able to still get you.
Do you think Antarctica has ticks?
Oh boy, here we go. I don't know. I've been there. I didn't see any. Okay.
I know. Okay. So if you've had a tick,
That's what I'm saying. Not every snowy environment.
I know. I'm just saying anybody in a snowy environment, and I'm not saying like spring snow. I'm talking about winter snow. You've had a tick on
environment.
you. Winter snow. You've had a tick on you. Please let us know because I don't believe it.
It's not about the snow. It's about the winter season.
I believe the winter. I believe that, like
Okay.
in California, for example, along the coast, I could see that being a thing.
Right, and then you dubbed the name snow ticks.
Yeah, and you agreed with it.
and make me look like
You kept on going with it.
What? It's snow, winter. They're in. They're all year round, guys. They're all year round.
In the snow.
They're all year.
All right.
Okay.
Next one.
You're ridiculous.
Okay, I'm going to go with the
You
scam.
can't help yourself.
Scam. I'm curious if you have had any issues with this before. So if you're buying backpacking gear and you want to save some money, a common place to buy it would be on eBay, of course. Some people buy new gear or used gear on Amazon as well. Buyer beware. Yeah.
Beware. Okay.
Have you had any issues buying used stuff on either Amazon or eBay?
Yes, recently, but it wasn't backpacking gear. But I think it falls into the same umbrella.
Yeah, for sure. I bought like a scam phone. But go ahead. Yeah, what do you got?
I just bought a game for my daughter for Christmas, and it was like an older game from like 2000, supposed to be pretty cool. And I open it up. I'm checking it out. I'm like trying it before I wrap it up and give it to her. Blah blah blah. And the person had left the batteries in. There were two parts, batteries in both. One of the set of batteries in there, but it's like it wasn't bad. But the other one corroded with just tons of the the white acidy
Battery
junk.
acid.
Yeah. So that completely didn't work. That whole thing didn't work. So I had to order a separate, just that part again. It was like it's such a nightmare.
Just return it.
I didn't. It was like 3 days before Christmas.
You're the king of returns.
I am, but I couldn't. The time frame was too short. Couldn't do it.
All right.
I had to bite the bullet. Scam. And they had a 5-star rating, which was crazy or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, if I'm packing this game up and selling it, why would I not check the battery situation and just take them out?
They might have made a mistake. It could be an honest mistake, or it could be fake 5 stars, right? Like fake reviews.
That's possible. I think those batteries are in there for at least like 8 years, but that's just me.
Okay.
Continue.
Can I guess
What do
the
you got?
game?
Sure.
Uno.
Correct.
Here's my tips is, first of all, you got to look at the feedback. So for eBay, they get feedback that accumulates over time. It's like a numerical feedback. And so the higher the number, the better they are. But if if they have like an egregiously high number where they're just selling through crazy amounts of stuff, if the picture looks like it's taken professionally or just like from a website or something like that, there's a chance it's a knockoff. And that same is true for Amazon. So if you're not buying, so a lot of times the person, the manufacturer will sell directly on Amazon. That's fine. But if you're buying from some unknown third party, there's a really good chance it's a knockoff. And
yes,
I mean, buying used gear is risky anyway, but there's typically some recourse with these things. But just, sometimes it looks good, it looks new, and then it's like Temu quality, it like works one time and then it's too late to return it. So that's the scam.
Temu quality. All right. Online buying. Carl will fill you in. Nice job.
I just did.
I know. Wow. I feel educated. My last one's more like a myth that I think people like. If you see a bear in the wild and you're like, oh, have you ever heard this? People are like, well, I'm just gonna climb up a tree. I'm gonna get away from this bear. I'm gonna climb up a tree. Myth.
Okay.
Bears can't climb trees is a myth.
Okay.
First of all, bears can't climb trees. Black bears better than grizzly bears, and oftentimes it's been documented that black bears have been caught fighting in trees with each other. So not only can they climb trees, they can fight in trees. So, and Carl, you've climbed a tree before, and you had a hard time getting down on your own. Imagine the fear if there's a black bear right below you. Like, you got nowhere to go. What are you gonna do?
Oh, that's a great scenario. If the black bear's just kind of waiting for me and they're not walking away, I think you use the black bear as like padding, right? You just kind of jump down,
Just fall on it.
and then correct.
Are you a good jumper? Are you an accurate jumper?
I think it's more of a fall. It's more of like
Fall?
a good faller. Yeah.
Are you an accurate faller?
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of
about you?
practice with that?
Yes.
He guys, tidbit about Carl. He used to just think he thought he could fly for a while when he was a kid, so he would just fall off his roof onto like a pile of leaves, mattress.
I was more like a jump off the swing set kind of guy.
Oh, I
to be
was
honest.
definitely that guy. Yeah, I was definitely that guy.
Yeah. Okay. I think what you're talking about as far as a myth is like you'll see that scenario in like a movie or a show, like the bear's chasing the person, they go climb the tree and they get away. But I don't know anybody of any sort of, has any sort of like backpacking or outdoor knowledge that's actually said bears can't climb trees. Have you?
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that. But honestly,
From where?
But honestly, like if I'm in my own mind, I'm like, I don't know if I have because climbing a tree, yeah, we could do it, right? But a lot of trees out there are like, it'd have to be a good looking, easy access kind of tree. Because like some of those trees, I'm like, it's going to take you a few attempts in the wild and you get your backpack on, you get all your gear on. You're going to like climb this tree? Like it's not going to be as easy.
You might drop your backpack and the heavy
drop
items.
The backpack, throw it at the bear, let him have the food.
Yeah.
And whatever.
That's not what you're supposed to do. That's not the way you handle a bear, but
no. But
if you panic like you do, that's a scenario for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'd probably just wrestle the bear, whatever. Become friends with the bear.
Okay.
Actually.
That's good.
But I don't know. I don't see you climbing trees. You don't seem that agile in a pressure situation.
Right, because I'm not going to do that because that's not what you're supposed to do. So I'm going to say that's your worst one so far. So I'll say that.
I'm going to say that's a great one because a lot of people think that's a thing.
I don't think so. I think literally everybody who was listening to that was like, we already know this, Derek. Stop wasting our time.
All right. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. Why don't you write Backpacker Magazine and tell them that they're stupid?
Okay.
How about that?
I don't use those words, but thanks. Moving along.
Well, that's what you're saying.
This next one is a lie, and it might be a lie that a lot of you have told yourself.
Oh.
Yeah.
Deep.
I know. Oatmeal is a good breakfast option.
No.
All right. So this is actually true for some people, maybe like 5% of backpackers. But for the rest of us, when we pull out the oatmeal packet in the morning, we're not excited about that. We want something different. We want something that is going to excite us and give us instant energy. So I think that if you've ever packed oatmeal and then unpacked the oatmeal at the end of the trip, I think you just got to come to terms with this and say, you know what? I got to stink and stop bringing oatmeal. What do you think?
Here's the thing. I want to hate this myth that you just said. I want to hate it really, really bad, but I can't because I used to do it. I used to bring the maple or with the cinnamon sugar.
Oh, that's the worst one.
Whatever it is, I love that one. I don't know why. And I would do 2 packets every day in the blue bowl. And then I was just kind of like, you know what? I'm kind of over this. Like, I don't want to do it anymore. And then I just didn't do it anymore. I want something quick and easy in the morning because you don't want to think too much. You're not a coffee guy. I'm not a coffee guy.
Correct.
I don't need to do all that rigmarole in the morning.
Well, coffee is, but people that are coffee people, that's more exciting to them than the oatmeal. So,
and to be honest, I like that they do the coffee because I like the smell of it, but I don't have to work to get it.
So you want people to make a cup of coffee, and then you want to smell it, is what you're saying.
I do. I like smelling it. I wish
hand that over.
I wish I liked the taste of it. I just don't. I love the smell of it.
Gotcha.
Weird. Yeah.
All right. What else you got?
That's it. Those are my 3. I got 3.
Okay. I got one last one.
You got one more?
Yeah, I got one more. I think I mentioned this one before. So I get that like tent buying is really expensive, but a few years ago, REI decided that they were going to compete with some of the top tent manufacturers, not in quality, not in weight, just in price. That's before all the inflation happened. They just like randomly increased their price by 50%. I feel like of anybody out there, I have a ton of experience with REI tents because I've bought so many of them. I'll find used ones at garage sales all the time here in Colorado and test them out. They are so frequently broken, frayed, the tent poles, like even the cordage is like worn out. It's so frequent, like more than any other tent brand ever. There's no reason, like I like some of the REI gear, but tent specifically I think is a scam.
I can see that. Yeah. I mean, that's frustrating. Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. Hopefully there was something helpful there. Probably the bear thing Derek mentioned, that's probably helpful. So stop climbing trees, guys. Stop climbing trees. Right, Derek?
Just saying. Backpacker Magazine, his name is Carl Mandrilli, and I guess he thinks you guys don't know what you're talking about.
Correct. I do think that. I absolutely think that.
That was actually a source you sent me. So I don't know. You're like trying to set me up for failure. Ouch.
Do your own research. Derek.
Hey, Derek, check out this website, but I'm going to mock you if you use it. That's what he does. Folks. That's what he does.
Here's the problem with Backpacker is some of their information actually is really good, but definitely not all of it. Okay.
Wow.
I've got scam trivia coming up right after this.
Yeah.
Do you struggle with joint pain, breathing at altitude, uneven terrain, or simple exhaustion? And it's time to up your trail game, folks, with our good friend Rowan from Summit Strength. He's got a specialized program that will be just right for you to conquer your next adventure. Don't be left behind by the group again. Get your hands off your knees, get your butt off the log, and feel good getting after it with Summit Strength. The link to your success is always in our episode description, but you can check out all the information you need at summitstrength.com.au/online. It's time to be strong and pain-free for your next adventure. Scam Gear is brought to you by Teton. We'll have an update on the sign pack eBay challenge next week. In the meantime, if you don't want to be scammed by expensive gear, buy high-quality, affordable gear at tetongear.com. Teton, not a scam. So there you go. All right. I got 3 scam scenarios for you. These are actual scams that have happened. And so I think you'll be good at this, actually. Number 1, which scam was Tom Brady involved in? Tom Brady, the
Deflategate. Deflategate.
No, listen to the options here, because this is not a football podcast, so we're not going to, like, he was involved in a lot. Were they scams? They were just like, were those scams? I thought that was just cheating, right? Scandals.
Scandal, sure.
Okay.
Go give me the
Anyway,
options.
Was he involved in a diet scam, letter A, B, a memorabilia scam, C, a pet rehoming scam, or D, a cryptocurrency scam?
Oh, we're doing D now. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're really pushing the envelope because you don't want me to win. Cryptocurrency,
Correct.
pet, diet, and what was the other one?
Memorabilia.
Memorabilia scam.
I'll give you a hint. He was not the only one, not the only celebrity involved in the scam.
I'm going to say it was cryptocurrency.
FTX, cryptocurrency. Yeah, the one where, like, all these celebrities, Kim Kardashian was like...
I do remember hearing negative things about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so correct. All right, number 2. Which of the following products still exists but is proven to be ineffective? A, teeth whitening toothpaste. B, caffeine. C, long-lasting LED bulbs. Or D, vitamin D supplements.
Oh gosh. Well, if it's, I'm not gonna say vitamin D because I give that to my kids and I've seen it work. So
Okay.
I hope that's not it. I want to say, I really want to say teeth whitening toothpaste. I really am leaning toward that way. But then I have LED bulbs that say they last 20 years, and I've just replaced like 5 of them within like 4 years. So I'm gonna go LED light bulbs. That's a myth.
Okay.
There's no way they last 20 years.
Here's the problem: is that some of them actually do last 20 years, but definitely not all of them, right?
So I'm gonna say I'm right on that.
So that's like partially a scam, but the teeth whitening toothpaste is 100% proven
it's
does not
teeth
work.
whitening.
Does not work.
Teeth whitening.
The teeth whitening strips, like, that truly works, but the toothpaste does not.
Toothpaste is a
So
joke.
it was A, toothpaste.
Yeah, I don't buy it because it's
Okay.
whitening.
But I'm with you on the bulbs. Like, I've had so many bulbs burn out so fast, but some of them still go.
Yeah, but like 20 years. I mean, even if it's a
I know,
bad
I know.
bulb, it should go at least like,
Yeah.
what, 10? Give me 10.
Right.
Just-
I think the next time you go to Home Depot, I think you should scold the person who's trying to peddle that information.
It's
to you.
not Home Depot. It's the people making the bulbs claiming they're 20. It's like, here's the thing. Another thing is I got these smoke alarm detectors from Costco. I know. I should return.
Oh, yeah, that's you.
They're like, these are automatically 10 years. And after 7 years, all of them except one that I'm looking at right now they've all died. So.
Oh, really? I installed all new ones like a year ago, and one already pooped out.
Oh, really?
Ago.
I would return that second.
Now we sound like old guys that are just complaining.
When I was your age, yeah.
That's right.
It's true.
That's right. Okay.
Wow.
We've got number 3.
Right.
Which company said it would give you the best coupons, but it actually just stole your data and then sent you to sites that would give it the best kickbacks? A, Honey. B, Capital One. C, Coupon Love.
Ooh.
Or D, a company whose like logo or symbol is just an exclamation point.
Hilarious. That's me from the Boulder Dash Answers. Okay. I don't know any of it. I don't do coupons. What was the first one?
Honey.
Honey? Oh, gosh. Okay. I'm going to go Honey. I'm going Honey.
Yeah, if you're on YouTube, you'd be familiar with Honey because like a lot of YouTubers pump it up as like a plugin for your like Google Chrome extension and then automatically loads the coupon. But actually it scams you. Honey is correct.
Yes!
Honey is correct, yes. So beware.
Wow. Wow.
Whew. Okay, so you passed trivia.
Past trivia.
By a nose. All right. Tidbits. I got... Okay,
Yeah.
just quick reminder, we got our trip planning series on Patreon. We already have our January episode out. If you're looking to plan the best epic trips out there, level up your trip planning. We got, part 1's out there. So there's that. And then, as I mentioned before, we had Chef Corso on the very last episode, season 7, last episode of December. He had already done an episode where he compared energy bars such as Cliff Bars to muffins to Snickers to see, is there really that much of a nutritional difference? Any predictions what the outcome was?
They're all energy bars. Even though I don't know. I have no idea. Give me
Just admit it. Just say it.
Snickers as an energy bar. Is that what you want to say? Snickers is an energy bar.
That's what he said. I don't have to say it. Chef Corso said that.
It doesn't make it true. It doesn't make it true. Okay. It might give you energy, but it's classified as a candy bar. That's why it's on the candy aisle, not the energy bar aisle. I mean, I'll say this till I die. It's a fact.
So if you can't trust a backcountry chef, like who can you trust?
Corso, where do I find, when you're buying ingredients for your meals, where do you find the Snickers bar? On what aisle? The candy aisle or the energy bar aisle?
That's not what his episode's about.
I don't care. It's still, you're putting candy in your meals and you're calling it nutritional. Okay. Hey, you know what? Skittles gives me energy. I mean, I know it's full of sugar, but it gives me energy. So is that like an energy packet of,
Yes.
you know, like I could just go that way. It's ridiculous.
It's so hard to admit when you're wrong. I get it, man. I'm with you.
But I'm not wrong. That's the thing. I'm 100% right. So it's so ridiculous. I just had a Fun Dip with pure sugar. It's energy. I got it as an energy packet.
I think the bigger issue here is why is somebody who's 70 years old eating Fun Dip? Like, this is a problem.
70 years old eating Fun Dip.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
We're going to talk about those things.
That's all I got, my friend.
Wow, that is all I got. Guys, thanks again for tuning in. It's you know, sometimes we have these friends that lie to us and they are a myth themselves, like Carl is. I appreciate you guys tuning in and staying with us. Great to be back. Check us out on the B&B websites and social media handles. And remember, guys, if your friends are offering you oatmeal or websites to research things, they're probably scamming you. Hint, hint. There was a lie that I found out, the biggest myth ever. Like when you move your friend 20 years in the past to a new state and a new house and do all these things, like you would think that they would have some gratitude and appreciation and maybe like buy you lunch. That's a myth. There's Coloradians. No, I shouldn't say Coloradians. I say California to Coloradians with no hair and backpacking experience. They don't buy you lunch if you move them. Myth.